So welcome everybody. We're all getting back from the event that was here in Birmingham, not here in Birmingham or wherever we were in Birmingham. And honestly, I got to say, I really think it was one of the very best conferences I've ever been to. Just everything, the flow, there were so many great panels. And I'd like for a couple people that are on the call to share a little bit about that. And then I'm going to give you some takeaways. What I love the most, honestly, about this business is just the sideline support, cross lines. I think that, once again, I'm just giving my personal opinion. I believe that that's really been what's kept me going, is the sideline supports of how we all support each other. So at the very end of the conference, we had 4 sideline teams that were there together. Nobody, get pays off anybody else's line. And we were all there together, just really sharing, giving our golden nuggets and just benefiting everybody. And I'll let these ladies share a little bit about that. And then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and we're going to share a couple of the things that we got out of conference as well. But it was an extraordinary, really. How many of you would agree it was probably one of the best conferences? Who was there that would agree? You can't
yeah, sensational.
Really, really sensational, and we'll share why. So for me, actually, I'm not going to start with me. Why don't we start with Natalie? Natalie, you want to go ahead and share a little bit about conference, what you took away from the Birmingham conference, and then we'll pass it on to a couple other people that were there.
Yes, of course. Yep, I loved conference as well. I think my big takeaways, we saw a guy called John Holowati speak. For those of you from other parts of the world that might not know who he is a personal trainer from the northwest of England. When I first joined the Juice Plus business about 2 years ago, my first event was in Wokefield Park in Reading. He spoke there. And at the time, he was like, wow, I earned £40,000 in this business last year, guys. And it's just so great to see him on stage, at the weekend, a major, major, major earner. And I think what struck me about his presentation is always very personal, isn't it? It always triggers something very personal inside of you. I think there were 2 things with John. Firstly, about how very, very authentic he is. He's so down to earth. He really just knows how to connect with people, and I love that about him. But he was talking about how you show up in your business, which really resonated with me. So he's mid 90-day detox with a lot of his team and a lot of his customers. And he talked about, obviously, needing to look the part and live the part, and I read that not necessarily as you've got to be a skinny mini in order to sell capsules and shakes. But obviously, we all know that would be true anyway. But for me, it was about taking better care of myself from a health point of view. Because I think that affects the way I show up in my business, where it affects the way I show up in everything. So, I made some big commitments to myself over the weekend, and actually it was really, really exciting. So I started yesterday, and I just loved the way when he was talking, he just sort of said, if you start and you fall off, just get back on again. And so, I've made a commitment to do exactly that. That it doesn't matter if you don't quite get there, but I feel really excited about it. And I think that's also partly connected to what him showing up as his authentic self. And it was very apt that I got a little present from Lauren on Friday night that was a little baseball cap that says Unbreakable. And, that's very apt because I've been trying to get my head around for quite a few weeks now, is trying to show up as authentic me, but understanding what authentic me really is. And I think I've struggled with that because, I have a very corporate career, and I show up one way there. But actually authentic me is a little bit of a hippie. I'm a very compassionate person, and as you can see, I'm a really highly sensitive person, and I'm very actually deeply spiritual and intuitive. And you know, I think I said on the last call, I think where I've struggled is that I've stuck between just embracing authentic me and having to hold on to old versions of me. It's gone deep, isn't it? Sorry, a very deep conversation.
Okay. Sure,
I think sometimes
I think it's benefiting. I'm going to say that it's benefiting you as well. It's like really showing up as your authentic self, because we were talking about this, I think, a lot. I actually just got off the phone with Lisa Grossman, and she was just talking about, you know, what's happened a little bit because of social media. It's beautiful and it's wonderful in so many ways. But some people are, you know, really comparing themselves to other people and not really showing up as their authentic self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's wonderful. But it's like you have to, that's the gift. If you can find the gift in social media with regards to just doing a post, you know, really showing up as your authentic self, that's people are going to show up. And I think we heard it a lot through the panels, right? Like the girl with that, an autoimmune disorder, and she tuned into a group where she has a very rare autoimmune disorder, right? And she shared about going into that group, and all these women or these people with this autoimmune disorder is like, oh my God, like this person's really willing to be vulnerable and share their experience, right? So I think that's a big thing. The panels, wouldn't you say that was a big thing? The panels, about the authenticity of the panels as well. So
yeah, and it just goes to show, I think what those girls really demonstrated really well is how to know your own tribe and find your own tribe. You know, like you've just described, you know, if you've got a great story about autoimmune, then go do that. And you know, that's something I started literally just a few weeks ago. I think people know me from my passion for kids with special educational needs, and that is my passion. It's one of my big whys. So why aren't I out there doing that?
Right, right. It's just like we were talking about. It's just us talking about Tasha. I mean, look at the results that Tasha's been getting, because she found her tribe now. You know, with regards to the models, you know, and the actors, and I mean, 26 new customers, 4 new distributors last month by her finding her own tribe, right? So that tribe. I think, you know, some things that were really valuable. I just thought that we would do this because I thought that this was probably one of the most powerful parts of the event. What was his name? The cute little German boy? Lucas. Oh my God. Fabulous. You were amazing, Natalie. And I know let's really take that, you know, that emotion right now and really put it to work. Let's put it into, and I think that the question is, are you ready? Are you ready?
Definitely ready.
And I think and here's the thing that I think that Lucas brought up that I think that, you know, I try to bring up if I can, but I love hearing it from him. I mean, I love seeing other people shine. I mean, it's nice when you get to shine, but when you see other people shine, to me, that's the magic of this whole thing. And I think Lucas really asked a powerful question, and I want you guys to really think about this question right now. And then we're going to do this exercise, okay? So Lucas asked, are you ready? I mean, how many of you would say that you're ready? And the question that he said, though, he goes, if you're not hungry, you're not ready yet. If you're not hungry, you're not ready yet, right? So the question is, you know, what is it that's giving you that hunger, you know, to be able to really say yes to this? You know, are you really hungry? Are you really hungry to make a difference in those kids with special needs, you know, lives? I mean, was she really hungry, that girl, right? Even though she was scared out of her mind, which she said she was, to approach that group, right? The one with the autoimmune disorder, she was scared out of her mind, but she knew that it really was a responsibility for her to share that with that group. How many of you get what we're saying? So the other thing that I love that he said, and I just want you guys to do this exercise, let's take 4 minutes to do this exercise. Let's write down, you know, put in number 1 to 25 right now. Just number down the page, 1 to 25. 1 to 25. Hopefully everybody's doing this. And I want you to write down, did you do this, Natalie or Tasha or some of you at conference? I hope you did. Okay. Or Yvette. Write down 25 things you would do if money wouldn't play a role. Write down 25 things you would do if money wouldn't play a role. Wish I had some music to put on for you, but just write down. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to just do this exercise. How many of you are having a hard time getting 25 things down? Anybody having a hard time? Yeah, it's amazing. Anybody have 20? I mean, I had a hard time writing down 25 things. So I don't know. I only got to 15. So even though write down if you're having a hard time just getting to 25. Okay. So let's check in. How many of you came up with some things? How many of you came up with something you couldn't get to 25? Anybody not get to 25 or had a hard time getting to 25? So who wants to share? Anybody want to share? 17. I got to 16. Anybody want to share? Anybody want to share about that? The reason that I thought that this was so great, because he really got everybody to think about, one, what is it that people really want? Like, you know what I mean? If money, like when people say that they're not doing it for, that money doesn't matter, with regards to it. But he said, like if you were able to do these things, right, then, but the thing was that he said, expect nothing and give 100% and you will get everything. Expect nothing, give 100% and you will get everything. So the activity you would do is a direct reflection of how you inspire other people to do the same, right? So who wants to share about this? Because I know there were a couple of you guys that were there and heard Lucas and wanted to hear from you what you got from this. But would this be a great exercise to do with any new person that you did, anybody that you were getting started? Yes or no? Because would this be a real list for them of why this business could be great for them if they had them write down 25 things that they could do if money wouldn't play a role? Would you find out really what they real desires are, their wants and desires? So I love that, because I think it got people really raw and to the point of what would take off the stress for them, right? What would be some of those things? So at least I know a little bit of a target, for them of what the things are that they want to create or what to do in their life. So yes, Rebecca, you wanted to share.
Yeah, hi. So I was at the conference. It was amazing. It was my first conference, and it's completely changed my whole perspective and attitude towards things. Just today, I've managed to get my parents signed up, so it's completely changed everything. So I only got to 17. I did a few of them last night. I've managed to get a few more. My main ones really are about helping my family. So putting aside some money for, I've got 3 nieces, so putting money aside for them. You know, treating my family to a holiday because they all work really hard. Paying off my student loan. I've been to university, so obviously I've got that to pay. Stuff for myself, you know, a house, a car because I'm learning to drive. Mainly it was about treating family, and my biggest goal obviously as well is open a rescue centre. So I was I'd give money to help other charities, and then I could finally open my own business with my sister. So those are kind of the main ones that I didn't kind of find it hard to write down, to be honest. I struggled with the rest of them. So
that's cool. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge Rebecca. Rebecca, how many hours did it take you to get to conference? Tell everybody what you did to get to conference.
To get there, it took me about 4.5 hours, and on the way back, it took me about 5 on 2 coaches and a bus.
Yeah. So
yeah,
him first of all for that. But how many of you now know? I mean, if you were doing that with a new person, is that going to give you a lot clearer vision of what they want? You know, and say, hey, you know what, Rebecca, like here, let's do a game plan for this for 5 years. How would that be if I really help you create a game plan for yourself of how you could make all those things happen for 5 years, in the next 5 years? Would you be willing to do it if I could help you over the next 5 years accomplish all of those things? Would that be something exciting for you? Is that in a different way? I thought that it was extremely powerful. Did anybody else think it was as powerful as I did? Tasha, I know that you might.
Oh yeah, God.
So what happened?
Bawled my eyes out.
Well, what specifically happened for it with regards to it, so that you could share?
For me, like I'm going through I've had a pretty wild first 6 weeks, shall we say. I'm not always wild in the best way. And I sat in conference, and I have never cried at a conference, by the way, never. I've never cried at a conference. And I'm actually an emotional person, but I put on this very strong, tough exterior. And maybe that's just because of the family things we had growing up, but I've always put on this strong, brave face. And then this weekend, oh my God, I cried like a baby. And Lucas was the first one that set me off. And he stood up on stage, and he kind of was just really telling people, like, if you're ready and you're hungry, then like, you just got to own up to yourself, really. And then when he said the 25 things that you would do, I wrote them down there and then. While he was still speaking on stage, I just kind of started writing. And a lot of it was to do kind of like with just being financially stable and being able to look after myself. Never having to rely on my modeling career and those kind of like that kind of thing. And it was a big one for me, was being able to, support I have a 16-year-old sister that's my world, and she doesn't really see it. So it was kind of like, Natalie said we've got the recording of Lucas. I'm going to try and get them all on the YOLO YouTube.
Really good.
I feel like a lot of it's posted, but yeah, wow, it was just really amazing. It just, I totally think I agree with you. We should definitely do this with every new distributor. Yeah. I gave my team a whole checklist of things to do if they're really hungry and they're actually serious and they want my time. And as of tomorrow, if they've not sent it to me, then I'll know what level they're at. But 5 out of 10 of them have already done it, which is just, it just shows you everything, And
I think the beautiful thing, honestly, with regards to conference was, guess what, guys? What goes up must come what?
Down.
And what goes down, is going to come what? Up. With regards to it. So I think that, I know that it happened for me too. I was very cocky when my team was like growing up. Oh, we're in Europe and we're like rocking and we're the thing. And like everybody like wanted to know everything that was going on. And I got really cocky for a while. This was before Jane, John, and Katie and all those guys showed up. I had 5 people walk as NMDs, and it's like the conference is like 400 people. And I'm like, half of the conference is my team. I was freaking cocky, right? And guess what happened? Right? Smack upside the head, with regards to it. Those guys came in because I got a little too wet, comfortable. Started assuming that, the way that we were, doing things. The great thing about that did happen with our team, I will share, is we always made sure got people on the trio and complete. We never the people that just recommended the complete didn't stay long in the business, right? And so that's a big challenge right now for Europe, because 60% of their sales is just complete, and that's not sustainable. It needs to be, you've got to be, we know our foundational product is the Trio, right? So, but I will share with you, I got, what do they call it? They call it drunk on success, right? When you're like so drunk on success sometimes that you don't hear anything else around you. You just, with regards to that. So we got that way. I mean, me personally, I got that way. And then I'm willing to be raw and real with you guys, right? So and that's what the whole thing is. But the one thing that kept it going was one, keep building the business and keep building those great relationships with those sidelines. So guess what happened? Them developed great relationships. Their businesses went up. Businesses, gone up and down in the UK. They've dealt with some challenges recently. So I think that what we saw at that conference was the people that are really committed. The people that said, I'm really committed for the long haul to the mission of the company, committed to the long haul of what this company really stands for. Because if you're getting in this business just for the money, it's not the right company for you. I will tell you. If you're doing it just for the money, this is not the right company. You've got to, the big theme, which is so cool to see is the theme, because I guess it's another one of my passions, is vision. What's your vision? Your vision for 2020. Because a vision, and this is the truth, a vision without action is just an illusion, right? So a vision without action is just an illusion. So the question is, what's the big vision that you really do have for this, this amazing mission for yourself and for your team? What is that vision? And when you help people really, create that vision will pull them. But if they're doing it just for the money, they might make money in the short term, but not in the long run, because that vision is not strong enough to pull them. So if it's that you're a real mom on a mission, or if it's really that you want to be in, 22 different countries and have team around the world. I mean, I was really looking at it, and it was amazing to think how much leadership this, that we have. Around, I don't know who said it, but, it's pretty amazing of how many strong leaders we really do have from this team around the world. We have strong leadership in Italy. We have strong leadership in France. We have strong leadership in Spain. We have strong leadership in Poland, now in Dubai. I mean, in Australia, in Canada, in the US. I mean, that's, in Ireland, in Scotland. That's a lot of places to have a lot of strong leadership in. Do you guys understand that you can tap into, right? Even though they're just sidelines with regards to it. So one, really, what's your vision? You got to get super clear on your vision. We talked about this last week. They talked about it at conference. Obviously, it's something that's important. So you want to help people to really say, if you could create anything and have that vision, what would it be? So I would say to most of you, and you can tell me or not, is your vision really strong enough to get you up early and keep you up late? Is it worth the time for you to really commit? Yes, Manon.
Hey, Lo, just doing this exercise really struck me because I could barely get to 9, right? And then I got to 10. I was like, what? And then I was feeling like, okay, so, and this is addressing to what you're just saying right now, is how do you get people past the fear of just paying their bills so that they can have a bigger vision? Because the vision will pull you, but the thing is, if you don't have your basics covered, how do you get past that for people? I mean, I have a couple of people who are really struggling and they so want it, but they're so scared, and I'm crying because I love them so much. And that's what I want to know. Yes, I believe in the vision. How do you help them step out of the fear and get into it?
So here's the one thing, and once again, I think that it's the one thing that drove me, and I don't want to keep using it as an example. I don't want to keep using this as an example, but it's the truth. When I saw one of my friends, in a condition that I knew that they didn't need to be in, I'm like, fuck that, man. That was my fuck it moment, anybody ever had you need a fuck it moment? Has anybody had their fuck it moment yet? Okay. If you've had your really fuck it moment, you will do whatever that is. Everybody needs a fuck it moment. And that fuck it moment for me was like, fuck this, man. I'm like, I'm going through shit right now, but I will do anything to help my friends succeed. So when I stopped thinking about me and I started thinking, because I bet those people that are just struggling to have their bills, get paid, I bet you that they have another friend that's struggling to get cover their bills as well. Yes. So say, you know what? all I want you to think about is how you're going to help so-and-so break through and so that they're doing their, getting their bills. Callie's a great example. The reason Callie's back in the game, after 9 years is her friend called her, right? Marissa. And Marissa said, I need to take a second job because my husband says that I've got to cover the mortgage. And if I don't cover the mortgage, we're losing the house. And Callie called me. She goes, what is it going to take to get her to VF? I'm like, she'll get the $250 bonus. You'll get the $250 bonus. And she went to work to help her friend cover that to, get that to pay the mortgage. So I think when you're not thinking about yourself lots of times, how many of you get what I'm saying? And you just think about who else can they help. And I know it's hard when you're just trying to cover your bills because I've been there myself, with regards to it. But I took the focus off of me.
I'm also like these two friends that I have though. One of them, she lost her job like 5 months ago, and they were just floating by. And then her husband just got laid off 6 months earlier. And I said, Julie, I said, can you give me 2 months? Can you just give me 2 months? And I
went and asked that question. I mean,
okay, what would you so help me here? Because I do care about her. I mean it.
And maybe you guys.
She's not working, and all she needs is 5 hours a week. If she's not working, she's got time to do this on top of something else.
I would ask her, what is she willing to do to change her circumstances? First, you want to find out what she's willing to do, right? Because you want to find out. I mean, because it's not about you. Like, if you say just give me 2 months, no, she's got to be willing to. People have skin in the game. You know what I mean? So I would say to her, Julie, I know this sucks. I know feel found is a great thing to use with people, right? So I know how you feel because I've had so many friends that have been in this situation before. I need to ask you the successful people, in anything they do, what are you really willing to do? To find out, how many of you understand what I'm saying? So you want to find out what she's really willing to do, most importantly, So are you willing to call these people? Are you willing to do these activities? Are you willing to do this and that? Are you willing to do that? If she says no, because if she gives you 2 months, but she's not willing to put skin in the game, then what was your 2 months in the first place?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So, right. So there's a lot. Look at someone like an Emma Karen. Emma Karen borrowed $50. She was living, what do you guys call it over there? It's basically welfare. I can't tell you how many welfare people that we heard from this week. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. They had fuck it moments, They had fuck it moments where it's like, look, I'm just going to go for it. It's like the whole thing that we always say, if not this, then what? If not now, then when? Those are the most important questions, to find out from somebody. If not now, then what? So Julie, I love you. I care about you. What are you willing to do? If not this, then what? Ask her. And if not now, then when? So that then it doesn't waste anybody's time as well. Right? Yeah. Now those are the things that you've got, because you got to find out really where they're at. And when you're starting somebody, does that help at all, Manon?
Yeah. No,
look, the good book says, without vision, people what?
Perish. Well, that's why I was trying to get her out of just to come up and see the vision and see what's possible.
But her vision might be just covering the mortgage, which is okay now. So what's her vision of the next 6 months? My vision of the next 6 months is to make sure we're putting food on the table, that we can cover our rent. I just, I don't know what it is. I know that, I got a call from a lady just, when was it? Was it the day before Thanksgiving? Not Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. Girl I didn't even know. I guess I knew her. I don't know. And she said, look, my friend's in Las Vegas. And she's waiting for her workman's comp to come in. She has 3 kids. She's waiting for the workman's comp to come in. She hasn't gotten paid anything since December 14th, so she had like literally no food. Instead, all the money that she had went to pay for the mortgage. I think I shared this with you guys, so to be able to say, I didn't know who this woman was, but to be able to say, yes, she goes, I got to get myself out of this situation. I wasn't going there to promote Juice Plus or anything. I went over there. I'm like, so what are you willing to, I said, so to get out of it, she goes, I can't work more than 3 weeks, make 3 hours a week, because then she won't get the workman's comp. I go, well, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do so you're not in the situation? And she gave me a list, and her boys like jumped in. They go, we're willing to do this. We're willing to do that. Great. So at least you know what they're willing to do, right? Because you want to teach people to what? You want to teach people to fish. One of the best books, hang on a second. Has anybody ever read this book? Ramdan Slatter?
Yeah.
So it's a really good book. I haven't read it in a long time, but it's a really great book about responsibility, about when people are reluctant, the boundaries, when people come from scarcity. But it's a really good book. I would encourage you, and it talks really about the giving is the essential part of loving. So anyway, it's a really good book. I'd encourage you to get, but find out what she's willing to do, skin in the game with regards to that. I think the other thing is, we talked about that, vision without action, once again, is an illusion. And I love what Lucas talked about too, that you want to get shit done. I mean, that's just the truth. You got to get shit done. We get paid on what? Putting on new customers and putting on new distributors. You want to be a sponge. You want to really listen to the parts that resonate with you, or the style of the way things did. I'm going to share what Katie shared with us. You want to develop meaningful relationships. You want to, be a farmer, meaning you got to plant the seeds, you got to sow the seeds, right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You got to be willing to sacrifice something. You got to sacrifice something in the, short term so that you can have what you want in the long term with regards to that. The power, proximity is power. Who you surround yourself with is who you become, right? I'm getting, my circle keeps getting smaller, keeps like getting smaller and smaller and smaller, just because, I notice I really go, how do I feel when I'm around these people? Do I feel like I can really trust them? Do I feel like I'm really, that we've all really got each other's back? That is really important, right? So really think about, your proximity. You got to do everything with passion. Do Juice Plus, do this mission because you love it so much, right? Do it because you just love it. You can't wait to share it. I just went to Coffee Bean, put out my Chewies when I was out there waiting for my friend, and I was sitting there and I was on a call. And then as I was sitting there with my Chewies and just having my tea, guess what happened? Somebody goes, oh my God, Juice Plus, I used to take that. Got an order, right there. So do it just because you love to do it and you just love it so much. Always seek new challenges. Always make others feel that you believe in them. Always let people know that you believe in them. Don't look for inspiration outside you. Look for the inspiration inside you, right? You've got to inspire yourself. So many times we're looking for outside resources to inspire us. But really it's like, what is it? And then, decide that this really is your, as Jeff talks about, his Juice Plus 2.0 version of him. So everybody coming out of conference should be, going, let go of the neg, let it go, let go all of the, all of the shit that's been holding you back. So I think that prove it to yourself. I mean, for your friend or anybody else that's on the line, have them do it, really, for themselves. I mean, so that they can, the story, I mean, what does Tony always talk about, you need a worthy opponent, right? So where do you hear about the stories? Where do you get the real inspiration from? You get inspiration from what? People that have been through the struggle, right? Otherwise it'd be a really boring story if you didn't talk about that kind of, slavery to freedom. Who understands what we're talking about? That's the beauty. It's when you go, oh my God, I was, at home, I couldn't pay my bills, and finally I had my fuck it moment. And I decided that I was really going to do this. I decided that I wasn't going to let anything get in my way. I was going to focus. I was really going to make it happen, So what is that, for you? And a couple other things that I just want to share. Is this helpful, first of all? So really,
Yes.
really get clear for you. If you're getting started, if you're doing this right now, really get clear with regards to, managing your state, especially for the next 90 days. We're talking 90 days. Everything, really look at your life in 90-day chunks. And so what do you need to do to really manage your state so that people don't take you off course? I have shit that's happening all the time, but I can't let those things distract me. I have to remember, it's so funny because I put on this I am hat today. I was like thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I could have done my messy bun day, right? Everybody talks about their messy bun day. And I'm like, screw that. Like, I'm going to put on a hat that reminds me like of who I am. So maybe if you've got a Goya hat, that's the hat that you need to be wearing, and like that inspires you. Put on something that anchors you to why you're doing what you're doing. For me, I take things very personally. And so like for me, I'm like, I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what this is about. I know what this is about. So for me, that today is a really great anchor for me to just keep wearing that I am. Maybe today's your day to wear your all excuses are equal hat, or to write it on your hand, all excuses are equal. Or maybe you need to write stop on your hand. Stop all the bullshit story that you're telling yourself. I don't know what it is, but you need something that's going to remind you, right? How many of you feel different when you put on that hat that just reminds you of something that you need to remember? So really for that next 90 days, what do you need to do to really manage your state, right? Is this helpful, I hope, for you guys? And then the other thing, this is about relationships. I always, whenever I try to do a talk from the stage, I always say, this is not a presentation, this is a conversation, right? So how can you have more conversations with people in person, online, or by messaging? Learn about them, learn how to meet their needs, how to build relationships with them, and let the events do the work, right? Your job with regards to promoting for events is really to build relationships with people. That should be your job. And then those events, just get them to the events because you've built the relationship that they want to be with you. You guys get that? You shouldn't have to be promoting events, from, you got to come to this event. It should be like they like so love being around you, and they feel like that you've asked them so many great questions that they have to show up. They want to be with you. So learn for your next 90 day, how many conversations can you have online, in person, by messenger, where you actually just give a shit about people? You guys get that? So what are those things that you need to do? Build the relationships once again, and the events will do the rest. The next thing, that follow-up and that invite, when someone says, yeah, I might be interested, and then asking those questions, what interested you? Why did you even respond to that? And then say, well, tell me more, right? So those 4 questions again. What interested you? And then ask them, and then this same thing with you, Manon, for your friend, what could something like this really do for you? Ask your friend. We could pay our rent. We could get out of debt. We could do something together, Well, tell me more. What else could something like this mean to you? What else could this mean to you? What else could this mean to you? Why do you work? Why do you do your job that you do anyway? Really, tell me more. What drives you? Tell me more about that. And what would something like this be? What could it mean to your family? So, and also that your why should be your recommended daily allowance, basically, of, that you need to fuel yourself every day with your why. You do need to fuel yourself every day. And Katie's dad was really interesting. I had dinner with him, and I love what he said. Getting a position is an achievement. Getting your club levels is your future, right? So getting to a position is an achievement, like to have something that says, I'm a Q, right? That's an achievement. That's the ego. That's the whatever that it is. But, building your club levels and building other people, is what is your future, because you're helping other people to be able to do that. So let's just use Amanda as an example. Can I just use you as an example? You're senior sales coordinator, right? On your way to Q, right? Or your senior sales coordinator. Have you gone senior sales coordinator, Amanda? Yes. So she's gone senior sales coordinator. She's on her way to Q. And so for her, as she heads into Q, she's looking at, okay, how do I build Becky to 3 club? How do I build Hillary to 6 club? How do I build this person, this and that? So instead of her going, I got to get to 12 club, what she's doing is she's looking, she goes, who can I help get to 3 club? Who can I help get to 6 club? Who can I help get to another 3 club? Who can I help there? And then guess what will happen? She'll be at 24 club, because she's helped those other people. She didn't just care about her. You know, like our team here, we went into 100 Club with 149, you know, when we went into 100 Club. Because I was like, okay, how do I get Susie to 39 Club? How do I get, you know, Jerry to 39 Club? How do I get Linda to 39 Club? How do I get this person to 12 Club? How do I get this person to 3 Club? How do I get this and that, right? So you're always looking with regards, who can you help to get to their different positions? How many of you guys get this? So, you know, I love that, you know, that Katie's dad was talking about, look, we were always focused when we were building, you know, he put together put on the businessman hat when he was helping Katie to build the business, you know, really build her business. And I actually asked him if he would do a call with us, because I think he did a great job at looking at not just as activities, but with regards, because I think we go to so many times to activities versus that vision. A vision is a business plan. That's what it is. You guys get that? Your vision, that's the business. If you're a company, you have to decide what you stand for, what you're going to produce. If you want your company to go public, you know, what are they going to ask? What are they going to ask you? What's the vision? Where are you going with this company? What does it look like? What's it going to look like 5 years down the line? What's it going to look like, you know, 10 years down the line? I don't know, because I haven't even gotten started. I get you. But if you could create it, you know, who are great visionaries, right? Go home and watch the Steve Jobs video, right? About it's Cheers to the Crazy Ones. You guys watched that video before? Anybody watch that video? You know, here's to the crazy ones. Do something that inspires you. That the video that Emma played is actually something that I used 7 years ago when I spoke at conference. You know, it's like you got to give it your very best. And what happens, and those of you that were at conference, is that film, let me just tell you a little bit about that film, is that film was about a team that was a losing team, and they were playing the toughest team that was in South Georgia. And what happened was that they had already decided that they were going to lose because they were playing another team that was the best in Georgia. So the question when he asked, when he put the blindfold on him, the story behind that is that they had given up before they had even gotten started. So how many of you, I'm not saying you, but how many of you might know somebody who's already given up before they've even gotten started, right? And then we go, well, I can only go this far. And the truth is, how do you know you can only go that far? You haven't even gotten started, right? So we limit ourselves so many times because we haven't built that vision, right? You know, there was somebody who, as crazy as this might sound, and I heard it years ago, the quote is, you're going to dream anyway, might as well dream big, right? You're going to dream anyway, so might as well dream big. What can happen? Instead of impacting millions of people, you've impacted thousands of people or hundreds of people or whatever. So you must, our responsibility more than anything, is to really help people, to create that vision, right? So I even look at Susie right now. Like right now, Susie's working for corporate, with regards to that. But her vision, like to help her, I want to help, thousands. And for her, it felt like being part of a corporate this. For me, I'm like, well, shit, I want to help thousands and millions as well. But I want to do it where other people are helping thousands and millions as well, right? Within the team. So she, so the vision's still the same. It's just the vehicles and the way you do it might be a little bit differently. Even if you help somebody to unleash their passion, is that a great thing from getting them started in this business? Yes or no? Right? Another example, my friend Vanessa, the one who grew really quickly to senior sales coordinator. This got her to wake her up of what she really wanted to do. If all we do is help people to wake up to their vision, is that a great thing? Right? Is that a great thing? Are we a great then resource for them to help them step into something bigger, for them, whatever that it is, right? So, I remember Susie this weekend, she goes, gosh, Lauren, if you wouldn't have said yes to Juice Plus, then I wouldn't be working at corporate with this and that, or I wouldn't have met this and that. So, or her son wouldn't have been doing it. Now he's doing his business and now he's met his girlfriend. You got to help people see that when they really say yes and when they really do the action, right, that they are, they're going to get those results, right? Does that make sense? So the question once again is, are you really hungry? You know, if you're not hungry, you're not ready yet. What does it really take to really get you hungry? It takes one, building that vision for yourself, you know, and helping to see that other. And then what do you have to go do? You have to, maybe it's making that list of those 25 things. Maybe it's going out there and just saying, you know, fuck it. I'm so sick and tired of the bullshit excuses that I've told each other that I don't have a buddy. This is your business. I am not here to be your manager to tell you what to do in any sort of way. I'm here to be a resource for you, you know, of what you need. If you need me for 3-way calls, if you need me to you know, do an event, whatever it is, but it's your business. You get to design it however that you want, but don't go out there and try to, you know, recreate something that's already working. So what does work, our business, is foundational events. It's events. Whether an event is anytime it's you and one other person, you know, in the room. That's an event, right? So when you sit down, that's an event. So we always build from event to event, whether that's on the phone, whether that's online, whether that's in, you know, in a big group. So we build on events. The other thing that Katie shared her strategy. I don't know if I could do this the way that she does. And I'm, you know, maybe I could do 10, but she does 20 Facebook posts a day, 20. And I'll just kind of tell you guys what she does. And I guess Luke says it's why a lot of his people have been fast tracking to VF so quickly. But she shared with us. That's why I'm so grateful for all the sidelines, you know, there. And so I might do 10, but remember, only a small percentage of the people are actually going to see your post. So that's why I guess she does so many posts. At 6:30 in the morning every day, you know, she sets her alarms to these times. So you might want to set your alarms. I set my alarms to do my squats at 10:35 and to breathe at 4:36 every day. But, you know, think about someone that I love at noon. So I'm going to add some of these in there. But she's really committed. Okay. We're going to talk about real commitment here. 6:30, she does a motivational quote. 7 o'clock, she does a recruitment post, but she says it's not about, hey, I'm looking for 3 to 5 people. She does not say that. She goes, do not do that. She goes, you want to screw up your business, write something on there, say, hey, I'm looking for 3 to 5 people to join my team. She goes, that's not it. She goes, it's about telling your story and how it helped you. So she does that at 7. At 7:30, she does something that's like a client results. At 8 a.m., she does a good morning, like breakfast post of her, you know, sitting there or something that she just made. At 9 a.m., she does the package product post. So about like a premium and the gold packages. So she'll do something on there. At 10 a.m., she does a client results. At 10:30, she does another client results. At 11, she does a personal post. At 12:30, she does a lunch or a recipe. At 1:30, she does, and once again, a recruitment about how it's helped her. At 2:30, she does a workout challenge. So maybe showing her doing some kind of workout, something, make sure that you're doing that personal workout challenge. At 4:30, she does a personal post. At 5, she does another package one. At 5:30 and 6:30, she does another client one. And then at 9, she does a bedtime post. So those are just, I mean, that's a lot. You know, I don't think I could do that personally for me. And I don't know if that really goes with my style, you know, of how I want to build my business, because I don't like putting a lot of Juice Plus stuff all over my page personally. But she's producing results. And if you're stuck right now and you feel like you're not getting where you want to go with your business, you might want, you know, might be something that you want to try, right? I'm not, you know, I'm giving you an option of something that she's got that obviously is producing results. I don't know, might work better somewhere else. I just, for me, it's not, I'm not going to do all of those. I did love I don't know if any of you from conference have them right there. They did these amazing recipe cards.
I've got them. I'm going to post them.
Can you show them? Can you just show everybody? Amazing. Not only are they recipe cards, they're inspirational they'll have like an inspirational quote on one side. Can you put it a little bit closer? Do that and maybe flip it over. How cute is that? They're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. Right? And the one with the pancakes.
Oh yeah, I just made them today.
Yeah, complete pancakes. And then show the other side. How cute is that? Right? So they've got double value. They've done such a great job. Yeah. Really beautiful job. I don't know if we have a really great graphic designer on our team, but I would definitely spend the money to create a set for you guys. If
I know someone that can do that.
Okay, done. Then we'll create a set for you guys. How about that? That has a little bit. So if you guys want to submit to Tasha some things, I will have them. If they're going to look this good, I'll do it all day long. As long as they look this good, right? Yeah. So let's do them so like that. They are fabulous. You're really getting tons of value. As you guys know, I did one with Asher and me, and I did them a couple years ago. So I hand out those of Asher's favorite shake and a picture of why we do our shakes every day. But these are gorgeous. I think you'll get a lot of interest. I'm super excited to be using those just to give to people, maybe with a shake, a sample, an individual sachet. Can we buy them? I will find out from you. I did ask the new lady at corporate if she would do a call with us about promoting, because I don't know if you guys saw about like the hashtags that they did promoting for the conference. I'm going to have Josh make a video promoting for Anaheim, a short 2-minute video for us. So if you want to submit any photos that you have from past conferences to Joshua, we're going to do a little like fun video to get the excitement going about Anaheim. And maybe, you could do just we're going to create some hashtags just for the team to promote for Anaheim as well, because it's not that far away. We also have a meal plan. We're going to be doing it we're going to be doing a lunch at House of Blues. I just renewed my foundation room membership. I must really love you guys so that we can do a fun night at the foundation room in Anaheim. And then we're going to be doing a dinner. We're going to be doing a princess party on Saturday night before the party. So, anybody have any questions so far? Anybody have any questions? Has this been helpful, or anybody want to share about the last conference? About the conference? Anybody? Anything that you learned? I think the biggest thing is you got to really ask yourself, are you ready? And are you hungry enough to just go, you know what? I'm going to paint the vision of what this is going to look like, 5 years down the line for me. And I can't believe it's going to be 10 years for me this October. It's just insane. I can't believe how quickly. And I've had a lot of ups and downs, guys, a lot of ups and downs. But, the best way out of things is through it. So the question is, do you have the hunger to really keep going? Do you really have that hunger? Is there some, I believe personally, when you've got one person on your team, it's your responsibility to keep going, and then I throw that attention. I get my excuses out of the way and really think of how I can help that one person. That's why, some of you, I'm writing you pretty hard, just because I know that if you got up a little bit, earlier, if you went to bed a little bit later, if you really prioritize your time, if you really, like for me, I do, those power hours, or like what, Kate did, with that massive fucking action, and the question is, how bad do you really want it? Right? And really think about, where are you using your time? Are you putting posts up when you at prime times when you really should be calling people? Are you, what are you really doing? And always focus on the good things. Always focus on the good things.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes the other thing that I love that they brought up at the event again, and I think is another great event that could be done, that we did probably about 6 years ago, and I don't know why we stopped doing it, but it's a great one, especially right now for this time of year, is the drop a dress size events. It's such a good event to do, drop a dress size. Are you sending motivational cards to your customers? Are you really taking care of your customers? You know, what are you really doing for the activity, you know? So, you know, and just, you know, and say that you did this, you know, for you, you know, that you did this to prove to yourself. I was talking to somebody in the UK who's already extremely successful, you know, and they're doing this. I'm like, why, you know, you're still in the game, but you're not really in the game. And I go, why are you still doing this? They go, God, this is the hardest freaking thing I've ever done. But man, when I do it, it's so rewarding, right? So how many of you have ever prepared like yoga? I think yoga is hard. You know, I do. I think it's hard. Like I get like a position, I'm like, it's hard, right? But then, you know, you look at the results, like you see a vision again of somebody who's got great results. Like my brother started doing yoga on his 50th birthday. He's 52. He's done it every day. You know, his body's like better than it's ever been. And I'm like, David, you know, what is it? He goes, Lauren, he goes, I knew that it was hard. He goes, but you got to think about, you know, when I did judo when I was a little girl, and my grandmother was mugged, and I was with my grandmother when I was 10 years old, and she was mugged, and I flipped a guy that weighed about 275 pounds when I was 10 years old, and I worked my ass off at judo, like every day after school, you know, and we drove, and it was hard. I don't know if anybody's ever done judo. It's not an easy martial art. And I was just like, God, you know, it was worth it because I literally know that in some way I saved my grandmother, you know? So like, what are those things that you've done that are really hard? Sorry. You know, what are those things that you've done that are really hard, but you know that it's worth it? I mean, you know, and when you get in that space and you can see that vision of like, shit, it was worth the work, you know, it was worth the work, you know, it was worth that person that you helped. It was worth that, you know, to see that smile on someone's face, you know, that's where you got to get to, you know. So what are you really willing to do? And do it like you've never done it before, you know. Do that total immersion. We all know that total immersion is when you're going to get the best results. So, you know, we got New York, you know, Sylvia, hopefully you're building for there, you know, and they're as right now, just so you know, we're doing this Zoom call right now, they're asking me if I'll come to, you know, LA UPW. And I'm like, no, I've committed to go to New York. You know, they're like, can't you like this or that? And I'm like, no, I've committed to go to New York, you know? So what are you really saying yes to? And are you going to, and I'm doing it because I want to see these guys, like, I want us to crack open New York. Cheryl and I, just so you know, are ready to just really take on the UK. But, you know, we got to see people showing up, and we got to see.
Let's do it.
And, you know, create a new, whatever that is. People are like, I don't know what it was. Like, so there were a couple people there. They were like, oh, well, everybody's young over there. I'm like, what an awesome opportunity. Great. Let's get the older ones like us there. Right. I don't see it as a challenge. I see it and I go, God, what an awesome opportunity. Because guess what? Every 20-year-old has a 50-year-old mom, you know, so that wants to feel good and wants to party. So I go, how awesome is that? Whatever. Let's get those people up there. All they are is this and that. Great. You know, well, then how can we bring in something fresh and new to make it exciting? You know, what can we do? And then remember, we have the essential fatty acids that are coming out, which I guess they actually even taste good. Someone just shared today on the NMD call, you can swallow it, but you can also chew it. And I guess it's really good. So a couple people were talking about chewing the essential fatty acids this morning on the calls. So all of us NMDs come together with Cheryl in the morning. You're going to see a lot more of Cheryl because Cheryl's really committed with me, where we really are buddying up to, you know, take it to the next level for you guys, because every single one of you should be at least a 24 club by the end of this year. So what does that mean? I want you to really think about 3 to 4 people. Really think about 3 to 4 people. 4 people that you could, you know, have frontline, which means if you're going to have 4 people frontline that are doing something, how many people do you probably have to have on frontline to get 4 people that are doing something? Give me some.
16 to 20.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, 20 would be a good 20, maybe even 30, right? So 20 to 30 people on frontline. So I want you to think of 4 people that you could help get to Six Club. Stop thinking about you and you wanting to get to a sales coordinator, you wanting to get to, or a senior sales coordinator, or you wanting to get to Q. I want you to think of 4 people. How many of you can think of 4 people that you'd love to help get to Six Club?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't have, one of your visions should be to be 24 Club by the end of this, by October conference or whatever, October in Liverpool and October in Indianapolis. So 4 people to help grow to six Club. So if you're not at least, that means if you're not at least 30 people wide, or, you need to be putting on some new front line, but we all should be putting on new front line. So we've got, this week, we've got a lot of events that are happening. Tonight we have Tony Brenner, which I would highly encourage you guys to be on to hear her. We also on the Cortese call, I think it's one of the best calls ever, is Dr. Tamara Sachs, and she's going to talk about the heart of the matter. And so I would encourage you guys to be on that call. Great events for people that just want more information, especially about the products. People are going to want to know about the products, guys. Tell them about the products. You know what I mean? So give people what they want, not what you want. I think that so many times we can get stuck in what we want versus what these people want. So if they want more information about the product, give them more information about the product. Let them hear from all these doctors, right? Let them. It's a resource. It doesn't mean, that everybody, but you're gonna love the call. You're gonna feel smarter. Tony Brenner also, she is in the health, world. She works with a lot of athletes. So I think that for those of you that work with a lot of athletes, it's a great call as well. And her daughter works the business with her. So that's our event after that. So we have a lot of events. I'd love to start seeing you guys promote, like really, really promote. And what that means is really finding out what people want and finding out which event would be the best, for them to plug into. We did our fast track to sales coordinator call last week, and Tyler did a great job with that as well. And, but I would say, really raise your standards of what you really are going to do, and ask yourself, am I ready? Am I really ready? Am I really hungry, to make this happen? I'm hungry right now to, really grow New York. I'm really hungry right now to grow the Bay Area, especially because Manon and Suzanne, you guys being up there. And I think, Becky, you're up there as well. So a lot happening, I think, for the Bay, and Lynn, there's a lot of great people there, but I want to focus where people are doing the do. Where's in the DC area, just because I want to, I want to be there, and I want to be around my brother more. So I'm looking at where places where I'd love to build, and I love Hillary. I think she's a great lady. So really think about the places. And then the other one is the UK. It's your time. Stop comparing yourself to all those other people. Poland, you've got this, Carolina. Those of you that don't know Carolina, she's grown an amazing team over there in Poland. I think that, Carolina, if I may share, because I think this will be valuable for all of you guys, is that, is it okay, Carolina, that I shared that you were saying that sometimes, so we were talking about, this is a big thing. She was like, her team is growing a lot over there. But she has a lot of people that are very independent, right? And she wants to feel needed by them. And I'm like, you don't want to feel needed by them. You want them to be independent. Just go find, 4 or 5 more. I know I dealt with that. I wanted everybody to need me, That shouldn't be my outcome. My outcome should be to find new people to help grow those new people, and trying to tag on to, all that Linda's doing, or all that, Jerry's doing. They're independent. They can handle it. They've got it. You know what I mean? That same thing with regards to, I think, Manon and Suzanne, you guys have really buddied up, and, or Amanda, you've got it now. Mo, you've got it. My job isn't to make sure that, to be having to be on it all the time with regards to you guys. Does that make sense? So you want people to be independent. So Carolina, right? She's got this great 2 strong, successful legs, right? Yeah, that's the problem, mothering them. You can't mother them, right? So you want to, no, you didn't waste it. You just learned. I could say that I spent a lot of time doing it as well. I learned, it's our nature as moms that we want to take care of people. That's our nature as women, that we want to take care of people. So, but we really want people to be independent. right? I mean, shit. Talk about independent. Look how independent that Carolina and Amanda have to be. Freaking Amanda is in Uganda, you know? I mean, seriously? I mean, that's, you know, but she's had to, you know, or, you know, that's, or you know, Carolina building there in Poland. So, you know, Francesca, who's about to go, she's very close to going NMD that sponsored Sylvia, but Sylvia didn't even know this support group was going on, right? So now Sylvia's growing there and there, but she had to Francesca had to kind of let her go so that Sylvia could grow independently over here as well. You guys get that? Is that helpful for you guys? Does anybody have any questions? I know we went a little bit longer, but I'm fired up today. I'm fired up today because I'm working on this talk for the women's event. So that I'm doing with Tiffany Milan, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be about promoting events. And so just going through those steps. So anybody have any questions, comments, anything, get anything out of today? Anybody?
I think one exercise that really, really hit home for me that I've told all my team to do is the closing the gap exercise.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to do that because it's
Sure.
Can you describe that real quick, Tosh?
It's such an easy thing to do. It's probably, I do the closing the gap exercise every week. And that is, hang on a second, So this is such a great thing. You can do this with any part of your life, right? So let's use our business as an example so we can do it real quick. One, it's where are you right now in your business? Like, where are you? Like, I'm an SC, I'm frustrated, I feel like I'm doing the do, but nobody's really working the business, or I'm an SSC and I'm committed to going, to this next level. I'm committed to growing my team. So where are you right now? So just take a minute and just write down, there's a lot of voice, Mary Beth. Where are you right now? Like, honestly, where are you? It's like, I'm good, but I know that I'm not playing at the level that I know I should be playing. Just where are you right now? Just take a couple minutes and write down where you're at. Or I'm new, I've just gotten started. I haven't really done the things that I need to be doing. I like to give people 3 things to do, and then once they've done those 3 things, then I'll ask them to come back to me, and then I'll give them 3 more things to do so I don't overwhelm people. That's what Cheryl did with me. She's like, go home, fill out your profile sheets, get them, make your list, fill out your profile sheets, get on this call, right? So I'm like, okay, I can do that, right? And then she give me those things. I'm like, okay, now I'm done with those 3 things. Now what do I do? So, so the first thing is where are you at? Okay, and then I want you to take it. I didn't do this in that breakout, but let me do it here. What are the emotions that you're feeling? Are you excited? Are you fired up? Are you frustrated? Are you confused? Are you lonely? Are you sad? What are the emotions that you're feeling right now? Are you hungry? And then the next thing is what is the physiology that you have? We talk a lot about, Tony talks a lot about physiology, focus, and language, right? So physiology, focus, and language. So when you're talking and you're sharing this vision, are you really like unstoppable? Are you this is it, take it or leave it. You need me more than I need you. What, you stand proud, do you stand erect? Do you have confidence in your physiology? So what's your physiology like when you're sharing this, right? What's your physiology? What are you focusing? Are you focusing on, oh, I'm ready? Are you focusing on, man, what a gift that I have. Wow, I can't believe I got so lucky. Or are you focusing on, oh my gosh, people, things are negative and people are this and no one's going to say yes, and I don't know where to find team. Where's your focus going? What are you focusing on? Next is what's your language? Are you like, oh, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I'm like, no, dude, I am fired up, right? And now go to the next step. The next step is, where do you want to be? Once again, that's vision. That's vision. you know, I have created such independence. I've created like team around the world. I'm so excited. I've got people that are rocking and rolling. They're able to say yes. They're able to do these trips that they wanted to do. They're able to like donate, you know. I just want you guys to know, not that it, you know, I hope it inspires you. But I committed last month. I donated $1,000 last month on behalf of all of you guys to the Starkey Foundation, you know. And then the month before that, I donated $2,000 to the Starkey Foundation out of my check, you know, to the Starkey Foundation, because I want to make sure that, you know, every box of Juice Plus that we share, that in some way that we give back. The other thing I don't know if you guys know is a little bit about how much Juice Plus gives. Did you know that of all the children's health study, you know, that Juice Plus gives to the St. Jude, they raised $10 million to the St. Jude's Marathon this year, $10 million. And the event that goes on all week long, the golf tournament to raise money for the St. Jude conference, you know, the St. Jude Marathon in Memphis, you know how much they raised? All week long, in 1 week? Anybody want to know? $500,000. $500,000. We raised $10 million. Hang on. Hello? Okay, thank you. So that's pretty cool, isn't that? That inspires me. I'm like, oh my God. So where do you want to go? Do you want to be able to say yes to more foundations? Do you want to build a business that's international? Do you want to, you know, be able to say yes and send your, I don't know, whatever that it is. You know, what is it? Do you have a business that runs on its own, that you're not a manager, that you're not a babysitter, that people are just like rocking and rolling and you just get to catch up with them every so often? You know, what do you really want? So take a time right now and just write down, what do you really want? What do you really want from this? What do you really, really, really want? What's that dream come true? And then once you've written that down, write down, you know, what are the feelings that you're feeling? Is it gratitude? Is it fulfillment? Is it peace? Is it laughter? Is it, you know, what are the things that you're feeling now that you've created that? You know, what's happened in your life that you're feeling now? Is it relief? Is it, come on, Becky Face, smile, sister. Or are you frozen? Maybe she's just frozen. Maybe that picture of her's all serious photo. You know, what is it that you're feeling? What are the emotions that you're feeling when you've made it, you know, when you've like built that vision for yourself? And what's your physiology like? Are you like, oh, are you smiling more? Are you dancing more? Are you more relaxed? Are you like, oh my God, all that work, it was worth it? You know, what's your language like? It's like, oh my God, it was worth it. You know, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on all the great things that have happened? Or are you focusing on like, oh my God, is this going to be, you know, what is it? What have you created? Be careful, because where focus goes, energy flows, right? Mm-hmm. Are you leading from your feminine? Are you focused? You determined? Are you a great mentor? Are you a great coach? Are you an inspiration to people? Are you, you know, are you doing the pain activities? That's why you've got it. Are you talking to people? Are you following up? You know, are you show interest in your customers? What is it that you're doing? Right? What is it? What's happening with regards to your physiology and your language and your focus? And then here's the most important. Is this helpful for you guys? This is what she asked. Oh, yeah. Now you can do this with any part of your life. You could do this with your relationships. You could do it with your finances. Like here's where I'm at financially. Here's where I'm committed to being. And, you know, so that I did this with my finances, which really helped me a lot. The girl who I have assisting me, she's great because she's doing she's like a financial, like not spending anything this month. You know, I love it. Like it's this challenge of like not spending anything. And I'm like, I think I'm going to do this with her. You know, I was going to do kind of like this impulsive buy recently. And then I'm like, I think I'm going to do her spending challenge. And I'm like, wow, that felt really good. Right. So this is the most important thing. I don't know who this person is, so I'm going to go downstairs a minute while you do this. What do you need to close the gap from where you are to what you need to be? Do you need to talk to more people? Oh, shit. I forgot. Shit. Hang on one second. Hang on one second. One second. I'm going to mute. Hang on. I'm gonna finish up real quick because I gotta go record something. We're doing a video. So what do you need to do to close the gap? Do you need to do more meetings? Do you need to stop your old story? Do you need to tell yourself you're enough and that you're worth it? Do you need to be more playful? Do you need to be more focused? You know, what do you need to do to really close the gap from where you are to where you want to be? What do you really need to do to close the gap? And why don't you guys take a couple minutes? Tasha, why don't you lead them through this, because I'm going to go record this real quick and just get a couple shares. And you guys, this is it. No more, let's not, you know, are you ready? Like, and I'm really serious, like, are you ready? Are you really ready for that 90 days to really hunker down? I promise you it's worth it. Look at me. I promise you it's worth it. It is so worth it. It is worth it. And guess what? There's still things that suck, you know, but that's life. It's called life. But I'm telling you, it's when you are really on purpose, when you're really on fire, when you're really just, I'm so grateful, you know, tell you, it was a hard trip going over to the UK. It was hard. I took the bus. I did the same thing too. It was a 24-hour trip there. It's a 24-hour trip back. But it's so worth it to see everybody so fired up now, to see everybody say, you know, now's my time. Everybody needed that time of like, oh, the young ones, oh, this and that, whatever. We needed it, but it's worth it. Put in the work. I'm telling you, put in the work. I've offered incentives. I mean, shit, if some of those incentives were out there, you know, do it. I want to give you money, you know? I want to see you. I want to do that stuff. I want to do it. Nothing made me happier than 2 years ago, or however many years ago it was, when Linda went 100 Club and 6 people went NMD. Nothing made me happier than going into my savings account and getting that money out and giving it to people. Nothing made me, that was freaking cool, you know? But you know what? I knew that, you know, that it was worth it. It's worth it. It fired people up. So what's it going to take? What's it going to take, and what's the activity? So I'm going to let Tasha, is this helpful for you guys? I hope.
Oh, yeah.
Some of you aren't saying it's helpful. Is it helpful? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you guys finish up? I'm going to go record this. Okay. Upstairs?
Okay. So for me, it's kind of crazy because when I was thinking about where I'm at, like I was really thinking about just in my life as well, like where I did the exercise there, and then I was actually recording it on my phone. So I have got the break. This was at the breakout meeting. It's so funny because conference was so amazing, but you know, I mean, I told Lauren this when she left. The 2 best things for me at conference, like, were, sorry, I've lost my voice. It's crazy. Were the breakout meeting that we had with Lauren, on the Saturday night. Lauren came, Katie Ravey was there, and Luke Wren and Jerry. I don't know if Jerry spoke that time, but Katie Ravey and Luke shared so much. It was amazing. And that was just my best. Don't worry, Natalie, I actually recorded it on my phone. It's just taking forever to go on YouTube. And then on Friday night, we had this dinner where we had the NMDs from YOLO talk, etc. And I just think more than anything, like, and I couldn't believe it when Lauren said she was leaving straight away on the Sunday. I was like, oh my God, that woman's crazy. I thought she was staying for 10 days, but she wasn't. And I honestly, I just think I'm so glad she came over, and I'm so glad that we had that conference, because me personally, I've had some wild experiences this year, and I really learned this weekend. I got to let go of that, and I really want to say to all of you, that's probably the biggest thing I got from conferences, to just let all that shit go. Whatever's happened to you, whatever that sad old story is that you've been singing, whether it just happened to you, whether you're going through it still, or whether you went through it a year ago or whatever, just let go of it. Like, really let go of it, because it's not your future. It's not going to help you become the person that you really want to be. But like, I was really honest with myself when I wrote down where I'm at. maybe I'll share to start with you all in case anybody else wants to share. I feel like I always talk and I don't want to do that, but I feel like this is quite a personal thing that I'm hoping I can really inspire some of you to just really get hard on yourself. So I wrote that I was an SC, that I was excited, but I was confused, I was scared, I was fearful. Am I running an orphanage? They talk about that at conference, you know, have you got an orphanage? And I don't really feel like I am. A lot of my team are very independent, but you know what? Most of them that came to conference are they're going to be 100% the most independent. Like, I know it because they saw and they heard everything at conference, and I sat there and I cried so much, and most of the time it was because I was crying looking at them and they were crying, and I was like, oh my God, like, because I said yes. And I had that I actually feel like for the first time I took people to conference that I really feel like I can see as an NMD, and I was like, oh God, these girls are really going to do it. I wrote down that there's certain people in my life that hold me back, that are very close to me, actually very close. So that's going to be a challenge, a conversation that I'm not really looking forward to having, and to just separate myself from those people, because quite frankly they don't do me any justice. Also, a thing that I wrote is a note that I've put is make sure all your team read GoPro or listen to GoPro within their first week of joining. If they don't, and like, you've got to personally, I feel like we all need to get a bit harder and start mollycoddling some new team members. You know, just be really freaking real with them. Like, the 5 things I asked my team to do, I had a team call last night. I wasn't going to do it because I thought my whole team was overwhelmed. Every bloody person that came to conference was like, are we doing that training? And I was like, oh yeah, okay, we'll do it. They just got back from conference. They were like, oh, we're doing training. So GoPro in first week, the 5 things I said to them all to do by Tuesday, and if they don't do it, then I understand they're not as hungry as I thought they were. As monthly goal setting with your team every single month is so important, and making sure you share them with each other, really getting them to share with each other and holding each other accountable. Monthly goals, writing down your vision, whether you do that in the form of a board or you do that in the form of a paragraph, I don't care, but I want to see it. By Tuesday, I've said if I don't get it, then, you know, we'll still work together, but like, I'm not going to spend as much time on you. I do 1-hour coaching calls with every single member of my team that wants it every single week. And quite frankly, you know, now I've got maybe 12 of them that are really hungry. So they say, do really I have 12 hours to spend with my team? Well, no, if they don't do this, I won't be spending an hour with them. I know some of them are sat here watching this, so guys. The third thing was write down your 25 things that Exercise Lauren just did with us. Write down your 25 things. And I know some of you find it hard to get past 9 or 10. Personally, I just kept digging deep. Think about the people that you can help and just get your 25.
Hey, Tosh, can you just share your list really quick? Because you said you offer that. Would you just read it really fast, not get into it, but just read it fast?
Oh, my 25?
Yeah.
Okay. Own a flat in London. Pay off Mel, Zach, and Granny. I love Pop and Money. Pay off my student loan. Never have to rely on money for modelling. Pay up front my accountant. Pay for my team to have dinner at conference like Lauren did and does. Go and see Chloe, my sister, every weekend. Go on holiday every month. Eat breakfast out every day. This was where it got a bit hard because I wouldn't really do that, I don't think, but it's the luxury. Take my model friends for dinner. Pay for Airbnb when I go and model in other countries. Take Chloe on holiday. Take all my sisters on holiday. Visit my granny and granddad that live in Spain. Go to Australia. Buy a house in America. Pay for my visa in America. Help my mum pay off any debt. Go to a Tony Robbins event, UPW and Date with Destiny. Take my team on holiday. Start my own coaching business for models. Buy a nice car so I can drive again. Send Chloe presents every day. Buy a new book every week like Ty Lopez. So that just kind of was like, bleh, you know. But when I go back to my 5 things I've asked my team for, the next one, the 4th thing is write down 5 people that you know right now in your life you would love to help. Write down 5 people. And I made them do it there and then. I gave them 2 minutes and I made them all show it. And I was like, come on, who's got theirs? And I wrote mine and I got to number 5 and I was like, oh shit, who do I really want to help? And, you know, and then I thought of a guy I actually met at the weekend. And I was like, I'm going to help him. The 6th thing was doing the closing the exercise gap. So if your team on this call, then me personally, they're the 5 things I learned from conference that are now going to also be part of my game plan. I actually have a starter pack that I send out to all my new distributors in my new team, but I'm going to create a new one. And I do the same thing as Lauren and, you know, do 3 things and come back. But I actually say do 1 thing and come back. And some of them haven't even done it. And they've been in the business for 4 weeks. And I think right now, that's okay. I'm not going to hold on to those people and be desperate for them because I got bloody loads of other people that I can go and help. So I just want to say to you all, like, we really, really, really have a lot of people that we can go and help. And social media is amazing in the sense that you can reach out to a lot of people.
Hi.
But, just someone want to talk, please? If you do, just shout. But that was, so knowing where I'm at with the closing the gap thing. The second thing was, I can't remember the question. What do you really want? So I wrote NMD, team NMD legs, freedom from those people that are holding me back and not feel like I'm, babysitting. None of them are my team, so that's what I want to say. But, babysitting these people, I feel like I babysit them sometimes through their life, and we probably all have friends like that. Create a life of no money worries, be able to spoil my friends rotten endlessly, and be a really strong, independent woman. I'm going through a breakup right now. Me and my boyfriend from 4 years broke up, and I'm feeling very all over the place, to be honest with you. But conference really made me realize that it's okay that I'm going to be on my own. It's okay. Like, don't be scared. And if I'd have shared that with you 2 days ago, I would have bored my eyes out. And now I just have to accept that it's okay. I can move on. So when I ask myself, what do I need to do for closing the gap, I just wrote a few things I definitely need to add to this list. But I need to have a positive morning routine. I need to really commit every day. I need to make a vision board. I need to have physical monthly meetings. I need to find other people like me that are models that need more money and people that are hungry. I need to be persistent and fearless and think bigger and believe in myself. I think, and this isn't to blow my own trumpet, I have my team, I know that they all think I'm the most positive person and that I'm super fearless and persistent, but I kept from them for about 10 to 12 days what had been really going on in my life, because I didn't want to feed that negative energy. And I please encourage every single one of you. Some of the team members are my best friends, and I didn't tell them what was going on. Every day I was like, I'm fine, I'm great, doing coaching calls. Yeah, I'm great. And I was really not great. I haven't slept properly in nearly 3 weeks. Honestly, I was really not great. And I still did the calls and I still did this. And then I opened up to them all in my training call last week. I said, look, this has happened and you're all going to find out in Birmingham anyway, because I'm going to end up telling you. I couldn't tell my mum for a couple of days because it was so crazy. And you know what? I want to encourage you all, if you go through shit, it's fine. Shit is good. Shit makes you stronger and better and way braver and stronger. But don't feed that to your team in the time that it happens, because they don't need that. They've got their own shit. They've got their own challenges. Don't tell them. I didn't even tell Lauren until I saw her, and she's my upline, and you can always moan upline, but don't do it. If you've got really bad shit and you need to tell them because you can't be whatever, then you need to just say, look, things are crazy right now. I speak to you in a couple of days, blah, blah, blah. But don't tell them what's going on, because you don't know how that's going to affect their energy. And right now I have such good energy in my team that I don't want to knock any one of them. But I went to conference and we all got fired up and we all changed things. And, I really, I'm happy to open up with them about it now, because I ain't going to cry my eyes out, So I'd love to hear somebody else's closing the gap if anybody else just did that, because I know it would really help me kind of think what else I need to do. Anybody want to share? My hilarious voice.
I think we're good. We're at 11:30, so we've been on for an hour and a half.
Sorry, I totally forgot what time it was.
Yeah, no. I think we're good. Has this been helpful for you guys? Yeah?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Really. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you at 1 o'clock, hopefully, and bring your team to the call, really promote and get everybody in. And let's get, all of you guys are pretty much, most of you are kind of stuck at that SC position. So let's really work on massive actions to help get you and your, you guys build, who could you build your clubs to? Right? Okay. Anybody? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.